This meeting tonight, action hour, is on how to end the year, finish it up strong, and then get off to a running start to begin the incoming year. As I go through here, there's some dates that is very important to remember. And I'll give you those dates right now, and then I will repeat them shortly as we go through this. The first thing is for chapters, for scholarships, chapter recommendations must be complete by May 15th, which is Friday. Uh, Awards presentation, this one just snuck up on us pretty hard. Awards submissions are due on May 15th, which is also Friday. And the hub, any changes that you are going to make to the hub must be complete by 10 June. At midnight on 10 June, the hub goes dead for a few days. And no entries will be allowed after that. So those are some things that we need to remember. As I go to the first slide, the one thing you're going to notice is that I'm using Great Plains Chapters Hub, mainly because that's the one I actually have access to. So I'm going to use that to go over some of the stuff that we're going to discuss tonight. The first slide that you see is the home page that you go in when you click on your chapter. And the very first thing you see is your membership. It's important, even though the numbers are there, it's really important for you guys to take a look at that and make sure that it is correct. Okay. Like Great Plains has 94 right now. If you only have 90, you need to go in and find the four that you don't have anymore. And if you have not submitted drop them from the roster, then obviously you need to do that at that time. Some of the things that we look at on this is current members. Take a look at your life members. And what I'd like to call this at the end of the year, it's an inventory of what you've done for the whole year. Okay, so as we go through these slides, it's really take a look at each one of these areas. Have you forgotten anything that needs to be put in? Current members, life members, big hat members. And then one of the other important things is your year-to-date retention. Obviously, the goal is to try to stay above 90%. Some chapters throughout the year are already below that, and that's okay. But you really want to try to stay above 90% on that. Okay, next slide. Okay, and I don't have this where you see all the entries for the chapter, but what's important here is on AMBUCS mission activities is to go straight across all the lines, starting with Amtrakes. Count up the number of Amtrakes that you have entered in the hub. That's very important, not only for Amtrak credit, but also for your points. If you have 19 Amtrakes, count them up and make sure that you have uh, put in 19 Amtrakes. If you haven't, get with your Ambility chair and go over what he or she has for Amtrak's presented and do an update. On all of these things is basically take a look at what you've done. A lot of this will be done between the president and the secretary. And I know a lot of chapters have committee administrators that have individual tasks. In Great Plains, the president and the secretary really enter almost everything. And actually, it's the secretary that enters everything. Um, it eases some of the confusion. But if you have committee administrators, like for Ability, make sure you get with them to count up your Amtrikes and have them entered. Community service, uh, take a review of everything that you've done for this year for community service. If you haven't got something entered, get it entered. And it's really the same way all the way across here. The scholarships, make sure you put them in for this year because you get credit this year. If you wait until after we've made the announcement on who's got a scholarship, you don't get the points for it. So if you've recommended for somebody for a scholarship, put them in. And then you can always go back after they've gotten their award and put the amount of their award in there. Mentoring, everybody sees that nice word mentoring. Right now, it's nice to put mentoring opportunities in there. You do not get points for it. I think that part of the strategic plan that we're working on, that might change in the future. Okay. Any questions on that slide? Okay. The next slide is the next part of the hub, chapter administration activities. This is where you put in your awards. Like I actually put in a chapter award today. It doesn't appear because I didn't want whoever we put in to actually know that they were getting an award. But um, make sure you put it in there. You can get up to 20 points. In other words, you can submit 4 different people for awards. You can submit more than that, but you get a maximum of 20 points for award submission. Board meetings. Some chapters don't have board meetings every month. Our chapter does. So make sure that you have the date of the board meeting in there. And for storage purposes, there is an attachment in there that you can store your minutes from your previous meetings. Okay. Same with meetings. This is where our chapter puts in big hat meetings, chapter meetings, or whatever the case may be, and then the membership drives. Okay, so chat. Our points also are awarded when submitting a big hat. Yes. Yes. Again,
Quick question. Do you get more points if you put pictures with your input, or does it matter if you add pictures or not?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
No.
I'd never asked that before, so.
Yeah.
It does help the judges, though.
Say again?
It does help the judges if you can submit pictures, especially for Big Hat.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. Most of the pictures are in, community service opportunities and stuff like that when you submit the awards. And we'll get to award submission in a few minutes. I think I skipped a slide. The chapter roster was the next slide I was going to show. Right now it shows chapter officers, but chapter roster, you saw that Great Plains has 94 members. Again, if you wanted to drop some, go down and take a look at who you wanted to drop, and then off to the right-hand side on the membership roster, you can add members or drop members. Okay, and that's the form that's easiest to fill out to add or drop members. For chapter officers, right now what you can see, but with the names that are presented are the current chapter officers. I've actually used the add new committee members, and I have the majority of next year's officers already input. However, they will not appear until June 1st because that's their term start date. Okay, so So a lot of people will submit them and go, hey, they're nowhere. Well, they are somewhere. They'll appear on June 1st or whatever the date of your installation is going to be. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. But one thing you have to make sure is go like Larry Kent, Monty Brown, Tana Harris, make sure the current position you go in and end it. It does say their term ends 5/31, which is May 31st of this year. So it will automatically end their terms. If you see, like down on me, uh, I'm not going to outlive that one. That's not until 2099. So you can put a term end date way out in the future if you know there's people that's going to be in position for quite some time. Okay, another one, program giving. That's on the National AMBUCS reports. Program giving. The key part that chapter presidents and secretaries, and I don't know if you can see the arrow that's sliding across my screen, but you want to make sure that you have $40 per member or more in each of those three areas. Every chapter has already received a notification of what areas they are short, if they are short. And that's up to the chapter to decide whether or not they want to um, be all in for the giving programs. Okay. So that's where you would see this. And basically, you take 80, in this case, 87 at that time that we had that, 87 and times it by 40. And that would tell you what our number was that we had to meet. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, right when you open up the hub, right in the middle of the screen, you see Achievement Awards. This is an easy place to go to the screen for your online submissions of your chapter and individual awards. It's and we're going to go into it, but this is online. It's a very, very easy way to submit your chapter awards. And we'll go in and show a couple of them. And you see Terry that has the Best Big Hat Club on there for submission also. Okay. This is an example of the form that you use online for an achievement award. And chapter name, if you are in a district, which is only Oklahoma and one district in Pennsylvania, and your region, you see the red asterisks, you must enter your chapter and you must enter your region. Okay. The awards chairperson, whoever's putting them in, for us, it's our chapter president. He sent them to me to upload, but he was the awards chairperson this year. And then it has the achievement award categories. Okay, and all you have to do is click on like community service and fill it out. The questions. Does this chapter meet the eligibility requirements for service awards? If you have any questions, there is an awards guideline book that I'll show you where it's at in just a minute. So if you have any questions on this, in this area here, submit a summary detailing the chapter's community service activities. It's really a lot easier if you type it up on Word and then copy and paste it in there. It works really well. You'll have a copy of it in your Word file, and you can upload it in here. Okay, it makes it a lot easier on that, and it will for the chapter, community service, financial, so you can go in and get all of these awards and get them submitted.
So do you want questions now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Karen Vidrickson. So I finished my community service award. I think I clicked it and then my memory's like, did you click it? Anyway, so now I don't know if I submitted it. Then I go to my local charities award and I have a document all typed up with all the breakdown of who we spent and what we spent. And when I try to upload it, it takes it in a line like a banner. Whoever reads that is going to go absolutely nuts. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or, and then on visibility, when it says you can attach pictures and the articles and stuff, are we talking about in the Word document? Because there's no place for you to click add like there is with the Community Service Award.
Okay, yeah, because the slide that's up right now is the community service where you can slide pictures.
Right.
Pictures in there. It doesn't have it for the other one?
It does not have it for visibility, but it tells you you can add those. So I didn't, do you just put them in your document and create a 129 meg document?
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, yeah.
Or is Jessica still here?
Yeah, I was going to say, Karen, will you just email it to me?
Yep.
Sure.
And
that
you also
question?
mentioned your local charities. Email that to me too.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because whoever opens that's going to go, no.
Yep.
Yeah, no, if you're having trouble getting it in the form, just go ahead and email it to me because we'll have to pull all of it anyway. So it's going to look like a digital packet. So email.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Fina, you have your hand up?
Yes. So, in this form that you're showing, you said this is for community service. So in mine, when you click, can you click on charitable causes?
This is a PowerPoint slide. It's not actually the hub.
Well, when you go and click on charitable causes, it says add more. So you can go in and add who your charitable cause is and then put a dollar amount there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Well, you only get 8 spaces. And I've got like 20 something that I need to enter, not on this one specifically, but charitable giving. You get 10 spaces and that's it. And I got confused on which one I was working on. And so I was on this one right here that we're talking about. And I'm just entering away and I get to the bottom and I have no more space to add any more charitable causes.
Hey, Fina, you can send it to me too. I mean, if you don't want to undo what you've already done, I'm looking at that form now and I'm looking at trying to add more spaces.
Mm-hmm.
But you're fine to send it to me too.
Okay. Well, I had called Matt, and the only workaround that I could think of, since I do have so many, because we have a discretion.
Is it upload?
Well, just do another form.
Mm-hmm.
With my other one. So that's the only workaround that I could think of.
Yeah, let me play around with it. It might be better if we just do a text box, but we'll take a look at that. That's good feedback. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. And you submit multiple forms. That's just saying that you just want to try to win first and second place. Okay, for the individual achievement awards, it's a little bit different, but at the same time, it's the same. You see right up at top, submitted no later than May 15th. Okay, that's Friday. You put the nominee's name. Now, one of the things in the awards, you cannot have multiple nominees in the same category. So AMBUC and Project Manager of the Year, it's one per chapter. So if you have 2 or 3 people in your chapter that you think should be National AMBUC of the Year, which one are you going to submit? And you guys will have to decide that. Okay. Like AMBUC of the Year, there's an attendance requirement, or you have to put in the chapter percentage for that individual on their attendance at a meeting. Obviously, a person that attends 90% of the meetings could, depending on the judge's criteria, could weigh more heavily than a person that attended 30% of the meetings. Okay. And then down here, nominee must have attended 75%. So with that being one of the criteria, the judges, if you had a person that's 30%, they're probably no longer going to consider that or that award. Also, does the nominee meet the eligibility requirements? Right there is the eligibility requirements. 75% must have sponsored a new member. A nominee was selected as the chapter AMBUC of the year. And then a note, some people like to try to submit their president, chapter presidents, district governors, region directors are not eligible for AMBUC of the year. Okay. And then again, it says dual or co-nominees are not eligible. And maybe one of the most important criteria there is if they were to win a national award, they must be present at national conference. Okay. If somebody gets notified and they don't attend the conference, the likelihood of them getting the award probably not too great. Okay. In the space here,
Hey, Gordon,
again,
you said they get notified. What do you mean they get notified that they're in contention of winning?
first, in the past, we've notified first, second, and third just before conference, letting them know that there might be getting an award, and if they're attending national conference.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things on here for awards, 500 words or less. Last year, this did catch me. I had submitted our AMBUC of the year, and the first time I stuck it in that space, I had like 520 words. It would not allow me to submit it. I had to get back down to 500 or less words. Okay. So that's important, and that also is going to help us a lot by judging when we have everybody at 500 words instead of somebody submitting one that takes 10 or 15 minutes to read. So limit it to 500 or less. Okay. Officer education going into the new year. We've just had region conferences. President, secretary, treasurer training should have been conducted at region conferences. If they were not, you can go in here still and get the officer education. You can take the chapter president's guidebook, the leadership calendar, which I'm going to show you the first month on the leadership calendar. And you can go in here and take a look. There are also slides in here for president's training, secretary, and treasurer. We've worked on this the last couple of years to try to get more stuff online. There's the first month's calendar. The other day when I went in here, the 2026-2027 calendar is already uploaded. Me as the secretary of the chapter, I like taking like the first quarter's calendar, taking it to the board meeting or taking it to the president and saying, hey, these are things that we need to be concentrating on during the month of June, July, August. One of the important things here is budget development. And this probably occurred during the previous president, but if not, make sure you have a budget in place. Make sure you have your goals and objectives in place. Chapter president scheduling all the board meetings for the year, or at least the upcoming months. And then if you have a district governor, obviously the district governor or district secretary will be sending out due statements as well as the secretary or treasurer of the chapter. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, I can't get to the chat box, but I saw a 2 on there a minute ago.
I think one is me, Gordon, just saying that I
Okay.
added something to the nomination form.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chris had a comment about being notified as a recipient. She was not, and that's probably because you were already registered for conference. We try to be kind of subtle with that. We go to your fellow chapter members to say, hey, we don't see this person registered. Why aren't they coming? Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, on the slide that you can see now, you can see the AMBUCS awards guidelines. President, secretary, pull it out and take a look at it and see what the requirements are for each one of the award categories. A lot of people ask us where we store the AMBUCS action hour recordings. They're right there. And then it's highlighted a little bit more. One of the things that the chapter wants to do as early as possible in the first quarter is a chapter orientation. Get those new members, get them an orientation, tell them about AMBUCS, tell them about your chapter. And this is how we start out strong. We start by recruiting in June. We start by doing orientations, having our budget established, having our goals and objectives for the upcoming year. And this is just the front page of a orientation packet that is already uploaded. You can download it and flavor it to your own chapter. It's perfectly okay to do that. Okay, and that's the only slide you're going to see on the chapter orientation. Installations. This year, or with 16 days left in the year, you've either started to plan your installation banquets, have them scheduled, or maybe you've already started installing your chapters or chapter officers. We have the induction ceremony online that you can pull down for the installation of chapter officers, pledge to the chapter officers. And there's the one for the chapter president. And then the last slide is a shameless plug. One of the things that we should be planning for is national conference. You know, who's the chapter members that are going to go? Is your president going and your previous president? Hopefully both are going, because the outgoing president will be the one that would receive the chapter awards, and the incoming president, they can start their year off right, being at the national conference. Everybody should know by now it's in Myrtle Beach. Registration is $190 for everybody that is going to stay at the Hilton Resort, and the hotel is $194. Okay, and with a parking of $11.99, I believe it is. Okay, add all the region conferences. Matt, because he drove to, I think every region conference he drove, he always in the back end of his car, he had brochures and booklets on Myrtle Beach. But this is an important time, June, July, to get people registered for conference that is going to go. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on anything we've covered? This is a little short, but just wanted to see if there's any questions on anything that we've covered.
I had a question. On the
Yes.
one part you talked about points were now going to be awarded for scholarship recipients. Is that new? I mean, I'm not an administrator on the hub, so, but is that new?
No, you put in the name of the sponsor, who you sponsored, you put them in, and then once we get the uh, awards, you can go back and put the amount that they got. But you want but chapters do receive points for submission of scholarships. And I believe it's a maximum of 25 points.
Okay.
Which means you can submit as many as you want, but you'll get credit for 5 of them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a stupid question.
Yes.
On the hub where it talks about the blue chip report, how do you find that? I forget every stinking year, and I fight to figure it out every stinking year, and I'm over it this year.
You want to know where the blue chip report is, or the very first slide that I showed you?
On one of the award guidelines deal, it talks about the blue chip report. And so I'm trying to figure out how to figure that out to get that to the president and awards person. Or is that on the first slide?
Yeah, when you open up your page, you'll see your membership. It'll show you it's on the same page your points are on.
Okay.
The total chapter points. You
All
can
right,
look
that
at
helps.
if you look in the top left-hand corner, that tells you how many current members you have. And in the
Okay.
bottom right-hand corner, it tells you what your blue chip number was for the year.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
I can finish that tonight and get it off my plate.
Okay. Fina has her hand up.
Okay, so my question is, if we don't have the names from our scholarship person yet, does National pull those once they've been awarded?
We would,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we would prefer if you do it kind of like the Amtrakes, but we will know who your people are that you submitted. Yes. Now, just for clarification, because some people think that they have to get a scholarship for you to get points, and that's not true. As long as you're sponsoring at least 5 people, you'll get the points.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. If anybody else have their hand up? No. Okay.
Is anyone stressing about the awards deadline?
Probably with 4 days to go, everybody is.
Yes.
Okay. I I feel like we've got some wiggle room, and I've had some people reach out to me. I feel like giving people at least one more weekend would help tremendously. So looking at my calendar, I mean, Gordon, unless you think anything about this, I think we could give them until Wednesday, the 20th. Just looking at the number of submissions, I think we got a lot of people who are struggling to kind of get those in.
Bless you, Jessica. Yay, thank you.
I think we've only got one chapter that has finished all of their submissions.
So can you tell Gold Star?
So you want to give them till Wednesday? I have somebody yelling from the back porch saying no.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it.
I know. I feel like it's just snuck up on people this year. I've had so many frantic calls like, oh my God, it's this week.
Okay. we'll make the date June 20th, which is next Wednesday.
May 20th.
June? That'd be even
May
better.
20th, May 20th, not June 20th.
Okay, so that helps us, but this Karen, so can you tell if we've submitted awards like community service?
Yeah.
And can you delete my charitable giving because of the way that it's submitted? And then I'll resubmit it with, I'll just send it to you because it's the way it's forming up.
Sure.
Or I don't know how you want to do it, but I don't want somebody to look at that and go, oh, good golly gee.
Throw it away.
Throw it away.
I want to go look at it now. I'm very
Yeah.
curious.
See how it shows up.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
And I tried multiple ways. I did PDFs, I tried Excel, I tried.
No, I commend you for what you accomplished, but I would have to print that bad boy off and like
Yeah, you don't want to
have
do that.
2 different highlighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's good stuff though. When you've got
Okay,
that
they're
much
laughing at me. So the community service is done.
Okay,
It is.
Oh, bless your heart. All right, thank you so much.
there you go. Mm, yeah. I was budget management, 7 Okay.
So just as like a priority sort of conversation, because this time of year is crazy pants for us too. So I know it is for you guys, especially treasurers, secretary, well, everybody really, the president, the secretary, the treasurer. It's just a lot of moving pieces going on. Scholarship nominations are Friday. We really got to get those in because the committee is trying to work, but it's very hard for them to do that until they know who is actually sponsored or not. So it's almost like they run the risk of double doing work until those submissions are in. Um, that's Friday. So now we have decided next Wednesday is your awards deadline. And then, of course, your points, submissions, your new members, your deletions, anything else that is incentive based. We say May 31st, but you do have that 10-day grace period until June 10th. But you're probably going to need all of that time to finish this big span of work, right?
And that was June 10th, not June 11th or 12th.
Please. Because once we get to that point, even though conference is a little later this year, there's still a lot of compiling, cleanup, making sure that everything's flowing through correctly, and then awards can take some time to get ordered. So if we can get that in, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and I had looked at the hub earlier today, and real good news is we've already got 26 chapters that have reached Superior, and there's a whole handful of chapters that are within 750 points, and I'm sure we'll get into the 30s. That'd be really nice to do.